Hello everyone. Okay, so this is the video. This is going to be for the giraffe. Okay, so it's a bit of different here because I've just set this up on my table, so hopefully you can see it. Okay, let's have a look. I've got a little spotlight on here. Okay, so I've drawn the giraffe out in pencil, and I'm just going to go over the giraffe with a light wash. Okay, so this is like a light yellow ochre. Okay, so these are going to be the lighter areas, so I'm actually just going to go over the main parts of it with a light wash. So you want the lightest colour, really, first of all. Let me show you the one that I did before. Okay, so this is the one that I painted before. Okay, so just to give you an idea of what we're looking at. Okay, so it's just going to build up layers, really. So I'm just going to go round. There's a few bits here. Okay. Okay, and okay, there we are. Okay, so once you've done your lighter colour, you just want to add, I'm going to add a little touch of brown. Okay, and I'm going to do it dark, start to do a little bit darker. Okay, so I know this is quite dark here. So put a little bit of brown. It's quite wet, so you may have to wait until it's a bit drier before you add darker colours in. Okay. I know that these patches here are going to be dark. So it's blocking out your shapes, so you know what colours they're going to be. Okay, so now I'm going to do this little bit's a bit darker at the top where his little bumpy bit is. I think they're called ossicones. Ossicones, I think they're called. Okay, so I don't even know if you can see this in the camera, but I'm hoping that you can. There's a darker patch there. There's a little dark bit under the eye there. And his mouth's quite dark. It's a bit darker there. Right, so there's a bit in his ear which is quite dark here, so put that bit in. And over his eye, a little bit under here. So now we've got two tones. Okay, so we've got a light tone and we've got a darker tone. Okay, but it's a wash, so it's only light, but it's enough to see where we are, to see where our values are. Okay, so now I'm going to use a lighter yellow, which is a bit brighter, but I'm going to use just spray. Okay, so it's a bit of an orangey, right? Okay, so you need to might need to do a little test. You can do a little test on the bottom of the page if you want to. So like this is, now you can see this is a lot lighter. It's a lot yellowier than what we was using before. Okay. So this is his nose, bridge of his nose. It's kind of goes around the corner. And this like muzzle part of his nose is quite light. So it's quite yellow. There's a bit orangey under there. So I'm just going to put in the areas that I know are roughly that colour. So we've got a brighter section. Let's have a look. A bit brighter there. This bit definitely is bright, and this bit here is definitely bright. There's a little bit here. A little bit down the face here. A little bit under here. Here. Okay, so I've got some yellow tones in now. A little bit in this bit, but not much. It's not very yellow in there, but okay. So now I'm going to use a different shade. I've got yellow, but I'm going to use a different shade. So now I'm going to use some burnt sienna, which is more orangey brown. Okay, and I'm going to put some marks in here. This bit's quite as darkish colour. I've got to go for this bit, but this bit is a bit darker here. And a bit darker here. So it's this bit. And of course there's a few marks here. Over the eye. So eye is darker there and darker there. Put the marks in. Okay. Now underneath the mouth, that bit is dark, so one of the darkest bits of the picture, apart from the eyes, probably is the bottom of the mouth. So I'm just going to keep adding a little bit more dark each time I get to that part. Okay, so there's quite a big dark patch there. And a little bit around here. This bit's really dark. It's got the shadow under the chin. That bit's quite dark there. So these bits, I think, are just on the sides. They're on the section, just one side of it, which makes it look a bit darker. Let's go back over that again. Right. So I think I might go over the eyes now, because they're dark, the eyes, so I can kind of see where I'm going then. So I'm going to put the dark, no, the brown bit in the sides, because it's brown and white. So I'll just put that bit in there. Now I'm going to go a bit darker with my brown. Okay. Now I'm going to put the shadow in the ears now. And there's a bit of shadow here. Shadow here, like this eye socket here. And here. Now I'm going to go this bit. It's quite dark. And his mouth again is really dark, so This bit's darker, so I'm going to go back over some of these little bits. Now, I'm going to do a dark brown now for the eyes, okay? So, it's going to be quite dark. Okay, so that's our eyelash there. And then it comes around kind of here. I'm just going to put a section in there like that. Okay, and then I can do the other eye. So he's got a bit there, and this bit's quite dark in here. So I'll just do that bit dark. I don't know why I'm whispering, but yeah. So that's that bit there. And this bit's quite dark inside here as well. So I feel like once you get the eyes in, it makes a lot of difference as to how your picture's going. Okay. So you can see once the eyes are in, you can see the rest of your picture. And it just makes it a lot easier. So I'm going to put this dark line in here, because this bit's dark still. Okay, so it's my dark brown area, and it's quite dark on the nose. It's got a bit of a, yeah, like this. And this is still a bit dark inside here, so I'm going to go back in here with a shading. That's it. Now there's a bit over here, which is eyebrow, and this bit's quite dark here as well, like that. Now these are quite dark at the top, and they've got like flicky lines where they're hair and fur. So I'm just going to build that up, just put a little bit in there now, and then I can go back over and add a bit more to it when I get to it. Okay, so I feel like he needs a bit more orangey now, because he's got quite a few dark brown bits in him, patches in him, so I feel like I need to make him a bit lighter now. So I'm going to add a little bit of red, a little bit of yellow ochre. So do a little test out and see how you feel about the colours, because you might need to test them as you're going along to see what colours they come out, and if you like the colour. See, they're very subtle changes and subtle colours, so you might just be able to do a little touches here and there, and then change your colour again, just to add the bits that you need to. So this bit here, inside his eye, is quite dark here, so I'm going to add a little bit there. That little patch there is quite dark, so is this one. There's a bit up here. The bridge of his nose is kind of at the side there. And there's a bit here inside here. A bit more there. And the nose here, I'm not going to draw a line as such, but I'm going to drag it a little bit just to give it a bit of texture. Okay, and then his mouth is actually quite dark at the bottom. Okay, so right, now I'm going to give him a bit of a wash. So let's give him a little wash. So I'm going to do him a bit more brighter, a little touch of orange, a bit more yellow, I think. Okay, so this is like a dirty yellow. Okay, so this is his muzzle, and his bridge of his nose is quite dark as well, so I think we'll come down there. His eyelid's quite dark. A little bit here underneath his ear. So we can come round here now. And come down. Right, so now I'm going to make him lighter. So I'm going to add some light tones. Okay. Oh, hang on. Light. There we go. So. This bit's quite dark on the top of the nose as well, so I'll have to go back over that bit. I forgot about that bit. It's under the eyes, a bit there. Now, let's do lighter. So I'm going to add some more water to this to make it lighter. Right, so let's colour some of this in. Okay, right, I'm going to so just keep looking at your reference picture and see where your marks are and where you want your marks to go. Markings. Okay, right, so now I'm going to add some orange to this. Let's dark that bit there. This bit's really orange here. It's like muzzle part of his nose. So it's just building that. Hello, so this is part 2. My camera cut out. So they've just got a mind of their own, haven't they? So I just wanted to just quickly, I've only got a little bit of time now, so I just wanted to just quickly go over doing the background as well, because we haven't gone on to the background. So I actually did the background afterwards. So this time, once I'd done some of the giraffe, I then decided to add the background. So I did it while it was wet like this. And I left a little tiny white mark around the outside of the giraffe. And I didn't think about going in any direction or doing it in any particular way, because it's watercolour and you can't get watercolour perfect. There are ways to get watercolour perfect and to blend watercolour in, but you know, sometimes you just want it to look like a rough. Depends how loose you want to paint. But I like to put the background in like while I'm going along, and it just helps me to see where else I need to go. I just find it easier to do it as I'm going along. Some people will do the background first. There is no right or wrong way to do the background. Okay, so my lines in there, so I'm going to come round here. So you can do wet on wet. I just didn't want to smudge the paper and it to run, because I'm standing the page up and the water's just going to run down otherwise. So I decided to do it on dry so that it wasn't so messy. Okay. So once it's on, you can then add some more. If you want to add some more water to it, you can. So let's just go around here like this. Oh. So this is quite a light covering. So I like to do it light first. I'm quite a heavy painter. So I like to go light first, and then I can go to the areas that I know need more work. So I actually quite like that without it being finished. I feel it still looks quite cool. I'm going to add some more water. Make this a bit of a wash. Okay. That's a bit better. So I'm just trying to hold it. Got it balanced on a piece of cardboard. Oh. There we go. So that's my bird. I got a bird in the background. And he thinks it's 6:30 in the morning, and he thinks it's time to get up. I told him to go back to sleep, but he's not listening. Right. Okay. So now you've got a bit of a background in. You can see areas that you need to, you need to improve, areas you need to add colour to. And layers. So the layers now, this will now make your layers darker once you start to go over your layers. Just do them really light to start with. And you can see how much texture it's got in it and the layers that you've got. Right, so I'm going to do like a light brown colour. Let's have a look here. Like a grey. I think I'm going to add a grey to it. Let's put a bit in. It's a bit of a wash really, so let's see. It's a bit too dark. Let's just spray it with a bit of water. That's better. So it's a kind of, it's like a brown shade there. And it's lighter underneath. So let's do both of them two together. I think we'll do that underneath. That's better. That's a lighter colour. So it's like a yellow ochre with raw sienna, a little bit of raw sienna, but more water. Right, this bit's darker in the nose, which I forgot the nose again. I keep forgetting the nose. Okay, let's get some here. Like a dark section here, there's a bit here. And while the dark's on, I'm going to go over the mouth again because I know that bit's darker. Okay, so I'm just going to go a bit over the eyes because I know the eyes are dark. So let's go over the eyes, get some of these dark done. Okay, so that's dry. I can go back over it. So his eyes a bit dark this side. And then it goes to like a brown. So I'm going to just do that bit there. That's the bottom. This one's a bit slightly different, so still goes into the corner. So I'm just going to make this side darker here. And then it's going to go to like a light, fade it out to like a light brown. So let's use burnt sienna because it's got a bit of red in it. Okay, so now I'm just going to do some details, some darker details with darker colours just to bring him out a bit. So these bits are darker here.